Hello, everybody. Hank Klein here from HK Digital Reviews, and I'm here today for the second installment in this quick review series that I'm doing. First week that I did this, we only had 6 things I want to talk about. Well, this week I actually have 9. I have 3 songs, 1 EP, and 5 albums to go over real quickly with you guys. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit quicker than the last video I did like this, because I don't feel like I need to spend too much time explaining stuff as much as before. Um, there is one project that I will be talking about more towards the end of this, so when we get to that point, we'll get there. But starting off, we have some songs. And the first song that I might as well just get out of the way right off the bat, because everybody's heard this song a bunch of times, but it seems like we need to hear more remixes of it apparently, is Old Town Road. Once again, this time we're talking about the new remix that not only has Billy Ray Cyrus, but has Young Thug and Mason Ramsey, the yodel kid from Walmart. And at this point, I'm saying to myself, okay, this is starting to get a little bit just out of hand here. How could this possibly be good? How could Young Thug, a guy that I've definitely not liked his music in the past year or so, definitely haven't liked much of what I've heard from him, mainly because of his voice, his extremely auto-tuned, wacky voice that just used to get to me. And Mason Ramsey, who basically was a internet meme and basically nothing more at that point. So I don't understand how this could come together and work, but damn it, it does. It works. It works really well. I don't know why it does. Ugh, I don't get it. Like, I love the original song, so you get the original parts in, then you have a verse from Lil Nas X, you have Billy Ray Cyrus's verse, he's still doing parts of the chorus as well. Um, and then Young Thug has a verse, and so does Mason Ramsey, and then they add their voices to the climatic chorus towards the end of the song as well. And Young Thug's verse at first I thought was pretty bad, but then the more I listened to the song, the more I actually grew to like his verse a lot, actually. He adds an interesting character to the track, using a lower voice, which I've never heard him do before, for the whole can't nobody tell me nothing part there. So he definitely adds a bit into it there, which I was kind of shocked by. I didn't expect that. And Mason Ramsey comes on the end of this thing, and it's honestly kind of funny because he matches it perfectly. His lyrics he has for this feature is not bad. I don't know, and it's actually kind of funny. He's it's weird, but it works out very well. Yeah, Old Town Road. I still like the song. I'm liking the remixes. Looks like he's gonna post more, so I guess get ready for that. I feel like with this remix, 8 out of 10. That was a good remix. I enjoy it. Not as much as the one with Billy Ray Cyrus, but with the other two added to it, it's pretty nice. Next song talk about. I want to talk about the new Tory Lanez track, Melee. This is all right. It's not anything too special, really. It's basically average, honestly. The melody's actually nice though. It's pretty nice. It's more enjoyable than I would usually get from most rap songs, but the trap production is basic, it's generic. You've heard it millions of times. The bass doesn't do anything. Doesn't have any like oomph to it. Doesn't hit hard. Doesn't do anything. It's just there again to be part of a trap rap song. So yeah, and Tory Lane's voice is also pretty decent though. I'll say that. I do. That's one thing I do like about Tory Lanez more than other rappers. I do like his voice. Um, his flow's not bad either. Lyrics, are kind of dime a dozen, honestly, but it could have been worse, could have been better. I feel like with this track, this is more like a 5 out of 10. I'd give it, but I think Tory Lanez can do better personally. So I just thought I'd add that track on here just to kind of talk about him a little bit, because I haven't done so yet. And the next track, the final track I want to talk about real quick, is the new Opeth track, Heart in Hand. Now this is the one I was very happy to hear over this past week. Opeth, legendary band that's basically one of the most well-known bands in the progressive metal and death metal scenes. Really, like they've definitely got a style that's very unique to themselves. They have songs where they're beautiful, then they have songs where it's absolutely brutal, in your face, just disgusting, I mean that in the best way possible because it's metal. But they just are all over the place with that. And this track, in a way, is kind of like that, except it never goes into the actual death metal part of their sound. But it starts to inch there with the instrumentation a little bit. But yeah, this is an 8+ minute track. It starts off in your face a little bit. I love the guitar work on this. The drum works pretty nice as well. The vocals are fantastic. I never realized that about Opeth because I'm just starting to get into more types of metal, and Opeth is like one of the main ones you start to get into from what it seems like. And I love his vocal just style. He has a really great singing voice. And it's just crazy to think that he has such a great voice, and then you hear other songs where he's just going manic on the mic, just growls and just absolute devilish screams and stuff like that he can just bring out. It just sounds like it doesn't make sense, but the singer's very versatile. But he never does get to the screaming part in this. He just sings very well throughout it, while the instrumentation definitely carries it through. And it transitions pretty nicely into a different kind of beat as well throughout the middle. And then towards the end, like the last 3 minutes, it changes into more of an acoustic section, which is strangely beautiful, actually. It really does transition well. It's not a harsh transition by any means. I really like this. I enjoy what I heard in this track. Their new album comes out, I think I saw September. I'm going to look back into that. But I like this song a lot. I can't wait to hear more from Opeth from this year. I would say for right now, this track is a 9 out of 10 for me. Now, I'm going to go to the albums because the EP I want to talk about at the very end because that's going to be the longest one. To start off with the albums, there's 2 rap albums as of recent that I listened to. I couldn't really tell which one I disliked more, actually, I should say. Because on one hand, whoops, that was almost bad. I don't. Well, here, let me just say what they are. It's Machine Gun Kelly's newest album, Hotel Diablo, and Jaden Smith's newest record, ERYS. On one hand, you have Jaden Smith's album, where it seems like he's being creative. He's doing stuff that's a little bit out of the norm, but he's just failing at it, and his vocals and lyrics are basically garbage at the end of the day. But then you have Machine Gun Kelly, who's basically boring as hell on this project. His flow is boring. His beat picks are just so boring. I do like some of his lyrics, but not all of them. I was like, I don't know which one's worse. It's just been a really bad year when it comes to rap, it seems like. But I think the one I disliked more, actually, was the Machine Gun Kelly album, honestly. Because there was nothing at all memorable about this release, like I said. It felt like I just kind of let sound pass through my ears, and then it was just over with. I didn't have really much to say about this. Again, Machine Gun Kelly just doesn't I don't know, he just doesn't flow that well to me, and then he doesn't pick beats that go well with his flowing style. He just kind of It's just boring. It's like he tries to be, I guess, somewhat edgy in a way too. And I'm just not about it. I'm not about Machine Gun Kelly's music, and this album definitely just did nothing for me. In fact, I think it's one of the most boring releases I've heard this year when it comes to rap, and because of that, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. And I guess we might as well just leave that 2 out of 10 up there for this next album because Jaden Smith's album honestly is just slightly better, and the only reason why it's slightly better is because I've at least Jaden Smith gave me some music that was memorable on here. Like the first 4 or 5 tracks, the whole pink section I like to call it, is actually pretty great. I love how it's like a nice little concept to begin off an album. Nice transitions, different sounds. There's a song in here that sounds like it's from like an Evanescence song actually, like the pianos and then this female voice. I think the female's name is Willow or something like that. Have to double check. Probably correct it in the video if it's not correct. And the song Noise with Tyler the Creator. I absolutely love the production and the beat and the melody on that track. It's a great track. But after that, Jaden just falls apart majorly and just delivers some incredibly dull tracks. Incredibly just like pointless also. There's a couple 6-minute tracks on here that really just don't do anything. I don't know if he's just trying to be introspective or whatnot, or even psychedelic maybe. I really have no idea, but this is just not good. What Jaden does for the entire rest of the album after the first 5 tracks is just horrifying, honestly. I don't know if he's trying to like do something special. I mean, I will admit I did appreciate his attempt to do some punk rock on this thing, and that actually wasn't bad either. But again, besides those little moments maybe I like, there was just some absolutely terrible music on this project. I'm not even gonna get into it, to be honest with you. It's just pointless at this point. Just know that this album also not good. 2 out of 10. And thinking about it, really, I think all my low scores this year have been rap albums of some sort. So really, this year has been a very oddball year for rap. Just a lot out there that's just not good. Just not good at all. The next one I want to talk about real quick is the Immortal Bird album, Thrive on Neglect. This is a black metal album, the debut album from this group. The album starts off strong, starts off hitting hard, in your face. Vocals are great. The female vocalist really shines a lot on this project. Sometimes, though, it feels like the vocals are a little bit weak at a couple points, but not all the time. But it just also seems like after the first track or so, the album kind of dips a little bit. The instrumentation's not as good. It's kind of gets a little bland. You kind of listen to it and you're just like, oh, I really kind of wish that something more exciting would be happening right now. This just seems like I could hear it from somebody else. It's just, I don't know. But I did still enjoy my listen to this project for the most part. But it's not like anything special to me. And usually when it comes to like black metal and death metal and stuff like that, it's usually the vocals that get to me. But that wasn't the problem at this point. I guess I was just expecting more from this project, especially instrumentation wise. It just really like the guitar works okay. The drumming is just okay too. The bass is just there, following along with the guitars. Really, after the first track on this album, it's just kind of just like, okay, it's not bad. It's probably something I won't listen to too much ever again. But I'll move on with it. But that's just how it is with this album. And because of that, 6.5 out of 10. So there we go. And another album that got a little bit of hype, but I don't really understand why, is this Daniel Caesar album, Case Study 01. I don't get it at all, honestly. Like I've seen a lot of people say that this is a great album, one of the best albums of the year, and I'm not hearing it. It's just like R&B that you listen to but don't really process it. It's just kind of there. Basically along the lines of the MGK album, except I do prefer this album a hell of a lot more than the MGK album. And I'm just kind of just like thinking, what is so special about this project? The production, the instruments on it, they're kind of okay. They're good, I guess. They're not anything special. The singing though is good. I do like his voice. I think his voice is actually pretty great on this project. But I think everything else, the lyrics don't really do anything for me as well. I don't know. It's just not all that interesting to me. I feel like if I was to be wowed, something more interesting would have to happen. Something different, something more, I don't want to say experimental, but just something more out off the wall, I guess. Maybe something that just combines genres or something. But this is just kind of like R&B that has emotion to it, but not enough emotion for me to actually feel something from it. It's just kind of there. I could just move on my daily life, not really caring if I heard this too much. But at the same time, I can't really say that I hate any of this album or that the songs truly just bore me or anything. It's just really, at the end of the day, just not my thing, I guess. It's like I said, it's not bad. It's just not my thing. So I guess I'll just kind of let it off the hook here and give it a 6 out of 10, and just move on. And I'm gonna move on to an album that I didn't think was ever gonna be created. I would never expected this to be created in my life, but here it is. Uh, Blarf, Cease and Desist. Yes, Blarf is the name of this artist. Plunderphonics. If you don't know what Plunderphonics is, let me just tell you a little bit what it is. It's basically just like extreme sample usage. Just using so many samples and putting them together to create a song, essentially. which is just again just a bunch of different cuts of samples that people find from anywhere. And another thing they have to say is that Blarf is Eric Andre. Yes, from the Eric Andre show. This is Eric Andre. This is his musical project under his character Blarf, and he's created this album, Cease and Desist, and it's actually pretty good. Honestly, like I actually like for the most part, I enjoy this project, but there's one giant gaping hole, and that is the track "I Worship Satan." And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is one of the most pointless songs I've heard of 2019. Absolutely, completely pointless. It's a 12-minute track, and 10 minutes of it is nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing but muddled noise that sounds like a space rocket or a ship just taking off for 10 minutes straight, and it's just all muddled and distorted to hell and everything. And that's what you hear for 10 minutes. And I was sitting here after like 3 minutes, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? We were gonna sit through 12 minutes or so of this sound in the middle of your album. Like, what was the purpose of this? And people were saying it's like a great noise piece or something like that. It's like actually a great track. I'm like, no, it's not. He's literally just putting noise onto a track, and that's it. That's legitimately all it is for the first 10 minutes of it. And it's not like it's like, in a concept album or something where it's like supposed to like create an atmosphere or something like that. In that way, I would probably actually think, oh, this is a great addition to an album. But no, this is legitimately a random ass track in the middle of all this crazy ass sampling that he's doing on all of his songs. That's just muddled noise. And then he puts a little bit of sampling towards the end of it. But for 10 minutes, it's just annoying as hell. It doesn't make sense to me at all. This isn't a work of art by any means. This is legitimately noise. How people find this to be the best track on this album or one of the best tracks of the year astonishes me. Because, in my opinion, it's actually one of the worst tracks of this year. I do not get it at all. And that track alone brings this album down a notch because there's only a handful of tracks on this album. It's like a 27-minute long album or something, I believe. And 12 minutes of this album is this song. Like, that is just not okay. But the thing is that I do like the other tracks enough to give this a decent score. But my God, this song truly just dismantled this album from getting a good score for me. But there are good tracks on here, like the the opening track. This is a great name, by the way. Badass bullshit Benjamin Butthole Assassins. Yeah, that's the name of the track. It's a pretty great tune though. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the sampling on it. Very well layered, very well done. The track Boomba also towards the end, pretty great track as well. I do like what he's doing here for the most part. I do like that Eric Andre is making music that's wild like this, and most of it's pretty good. But if you're gonna put 12-minute long noise pieces that have no context or meaning to it, and then title it "I Worship Satan" for whatever fucking reason, I am not gonna like it. It's not gonna be a good song. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what music elitists will say. It's a bad song. It should not have been written. It ruined the album for me. And because of that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And without this track, the album probably would have been an 8 to a 9 out of 10 too. But that track just absolutely annihilated any chance of it being on there. So there's it for the albums. Now the one album I wanted to talk, or EP, excuse me, that I wanted to talk about was the new Poppy EP, Choke. Now, Poppy is an artist I have been following for about the past year or so because she had a very interesting style. She had a the cutesy pop kind of deal going on, but she also found a way to be just immensely creepy and even metal at times. The song X blew me away because it starts off all like like headbanging metal type. Then it gets into very sweet and cutesy stuff, saying how much she wants to love the world and all that stuff like that. And then all of a sudden the chorus hits, and the instrumentation of the metal part kicks in. It's badass. She just absolutely just starts going. She just kind of goes crazy, saying how she wants to get bloody and stuff like that. And that track just showed that she has an interesting side to her. But another thing you have to remember is that she's also a YouTuber who creates some of the weirdest and creepiest videos I've ever seen on YouTube, hands down. I don't know why she does that necessarily, but it does create one hell of a creepy character. And when I saw that she had this YouTube channel to listen to her music, I can only think, why hasn't she incorporated her character into her sound and her music? Like, how come we haven't really heard that full transition yet? Well, I am so glad to say is that with this EP, she truly has done that. Thank God. I heard the track Voicemail before. I did a review on it, and it's one of my favorite tracks this year by far. Easily my favorite pop track of 2019 so far. It's an absolutely phenomenal song with crazily distorted bass in the verse, which is so just like overly just like blown in your face that it's like almost like treble instead of bass now. Although the revamped version put onto this EP does have more bass to it, which I do like, and the snare also is replaced and sounds nicely as well. It's a fantastic track. The title track Choke is a pretty phenomenal track as well. Very nice beat that's like it's on tempo, then it's off tempo at parts. It's just like, huh, that's interesting, but it's really nice. Her vocals are creepy as ever. Lyrics are also just creepy as hell. Her voice sounds more robotic, which is exactly what I expected. Because in her YouTube videos, she is a lot more robotic and a lot more creepier, honestly. And that was some pretty bad grammar, I just realized, and that was a voice crack. This video is going well. Anyways, out from that, we also have the track Scary Mask, and she, once again, shows her metal side with this track by having the Fever 333, who just released an album earlier this year, come onto this track and deliver some absolutely just belting instrumentation, some absolutely crazy vocals as well from the lead singer. And it's just a great track. If I didn't say it before, Scary Mask is the name of the track. I like it a lot. Again, her creepiness is there, but her cuteness too is also here. But it's done in a more robotic-like sense, which I like, again, because it fits the character that I thought she was going to use anyways. And we also have the track Meat, which is a pretty graphic song that has to deal with, like, meat industries and stuff like that. And I guess it can be seen as an anti-meat song. It does look like that, but it ends up kind of like being like a song about when the robots take over the world. We're basically going to be in the meat packs like we do with animals right now. So I guess kind of technically like it is an anti-meat song, but it's also bringing a whole new different world to it. And I think, let's see, that's four tracks talked about. And the final track is I can't remember the name of it. Oh, I forgot. It was just on the tip of my tongue. Lost it. But the final track is actually a very beautiful track. Um, Nice piano put into it as well. Her voice is lovely on it. The creepiness is kind of gone now at this moment too. She's just knocking out of the park with this EP. Honestly, like these five tracks are definitely the five best tracks I've heard from her yet. Um, I honestly don't know what to say about it except that it's a 9 out of 10. I'm looking forward to her next full-length project, whenever that's going to be. Might not be until next year or 2 years from now, but if it's going to be sounding like the stuff she's been releasing recently, it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal album. And I can't wait to hear more of what she does. And after that, I think I am done. So, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe. Did you like most of these picks? Did you dislike most of them? Do you think that rap's been having a pretty bad year with just a lot of mediocre releases so far? Or do you think with releases such as Lil Sims album Gray Area and albums like that, do you think maybe that rap is just having one of those years where it's either really good or it's just pretty mediocre? That could be the case as well. Discuss in the comments below. Let me know about other 2019 albums that I could review. The next album review I think I'm gonna do is the new Backwash album, actually, which I did not know was coming out, but it came out this past Friday, and I am definitely gonna be checking it out. I actually already did check it out. I'm not gonna really say much about it right now, but I will be doing a review on it in a couple days or so. And since today is a Monday, I believe today is also the 16th of July, so probably about the 18th of July you'll probably expect it. So again, thank you so much for all for watching, and as always, have a nice day.